You have all heard that businessmen or rich people have powerful skills and time-tested principles that they practice every day, and this is what allows them to remain rich. These skills are what separate them from everyday people. I will put it more succinctly. To be an entrepreneur is a lifestyle and certain way of thinking. Doing the exercises that you will see in this video will help you to structure your brain with an entrepreneur's mentality. These exercises are the fastest way to gain an entrepreneur's mindset because you can't theoretically become a businessman. You have to experience the harsh business environment and put yourself in extreme situations several times so that your brain will start thinking the way rich people think. This is part 2 of the exercises. The first part will be in the description below. Let's begin. Live life in an unknown city. For those of you who live in the country or outside a big city, try to come live in a big city for a few months. Get yourself a hostel for 1 to 2 months. Find a job. If you already live in a big city, go live somewhere outside your country where you don't speak the native language. Preferably, you need to travel to a place where everything will be new to you. You will need to develop new skills, a new way of thinking, learn the culture, and adapt to it. You will be able to learn a new language. Your mental horizons will open up because you will see a different mentality of people, how they live, work, and do everyday tasks. I can't give you answers to what you may be able to achieve, but even if you don't achieve anything, you will always be able to go back to your slow, crappy environment where you live right now. Don't think that next Monday you are going to start your life from a blank page. You have done it many times and it has never worked. If you are in a comfort zone, you will never be able to get out from it. And the only way to do so is to put your brain in the high-risk environment. If you go to another country with limited money, your brain will start working at full force because it will be afraid to stay homeless in this unknown place. You will realize that to get a job, a place to live, and achieve average goals is not so hard, as long as you are willingly keeping your brain in the constant extreme survival mode. You need to create these extreme circumstances on your own, and the best way to do so is to travel to a different country with a limited amount of money. To go to a country with a different native language and different culture is the same as throwing a person who can't swim into the middle of the swimming pool. If he doesn't drown, he will learn how to swim very quickly. Swimming instructors often use this method. So, stop looking for the magic pill and act step by step. Obviously, most people won't be able to complete this task due to their fear, but there are others who are standing on the edge, who want to change their standard average life and are willing to do whatever it takes. This is a very important quest. Do it while you are still young and have big ambitions, because the older you get, the more likely it is that you won't do this exercise, and as a result, you won't widen the horizons in your mind. Next, give out all your money to the homeless. Experience complete poverty. This exercise is especially helpful for those who like to moralize a lot and for those who talk about helping other people all the time. For instance, the more you help others, the more you will get back in return. Here you will see that humans are selfish, greedy, and generally disgusting creatures, and you will realize that you are also like that because you probably won't be able to give out your money to the homeless. Give away everything that you have, your cell phone, wallet, 3 months' salary. Give it to the elderly or a poor person. Don't give it away to youngsters. You will just make it worse for them. Youngsters must learn how to achieve goals through hard work, but to help an older person to pay for his food is a good deed. The whole point of this exercise is to give out a big amount of money. It must not be something small. Give away 6 months of your savings or 10 of your paychecks. If you aren't able to do so, then stop judging the moral value of everything around you and stop judging other people and their actions. Realize that you are not deserved to be called a good person. I wonder what excuses you will find in your head in order not to give out money to strangers. Pay close attention to your thoughts. Evaluate them when you stand in front of a homeless person, at the moment when all you need to do is pull it out and give all your money away. Also, this quest will help you to have a proper relationship towards money. that money is just an instrument and nothing else. Then, when you need to invest big money in risky projects, you will be able to do that pretty easily without doubts or emotions. Having this ability, investing and handling money with a poker face, is what will make you a great entrepreneur and investor. You can't learn this skill reading books. You have to experience these emotions in your skin in order to become a great cold-blooded businessman. Have sex with 20 hookers. You need to become confident in your sex life with the opposite sex. This exercise is the most helpful and biggest secret if you want to lose the fear of talking to girls on the streets. I will make a separate video about this exercise to explain more thoroughly how it works. I decided to write this recommendation because this exercise is a great quest for you to get out of your comfort zone. Some people can't perform this simple act of having sex with a hooker, even though it's not like you are being sent to the front lines in World War II. All you need to do is give money to the woman and have sex with her. Many young teens start overthinking that they might get robbed by pimps. You must do this quest to see that sex is just a very biological and primitive process. You need to see that all people are primitive and that women are all the same. The more sex partners you have, the less you will believe in love. Once I make a separate video about this particular exercise, you will be able to find it in the description below. Experience death. Attend a funeral, visit a morgue or a cemetery. Take a look at an autopsy of a person. Because of their stable, comfortable, safe time, people forget about life's harsh reality. Very often people don't understand how cruel and biological our world is and how human life is fragile. Especially young teens in Western countries have a big problem with understanding that life is a big struggle. Those teens don't have any thoughts in their head except love, luck, an optimistic future, and entertainment. At the same time, while having these naive thoughts, they still want to achieve big goals, but it's almost impossible to do that in real life if you are that naive. The earlier a young guy sees the primitive biological cruelty of life, the earlier he will learn how to adapt to circumstances and environment. That way he will not look like a lion raised in a cage, who you let go in the animal world and who dies very quickly because he has no ability to hunt and get himself food. That is the main problem of young men who live in the vacuum of their parents' guardianship. He doesn't realize that society is hypocritical, cruel, and cynical. This recommendation to attend a funeral can be helpful for a guy so that he can realize that his life will end pretty quickly. Preferably, he should see an autopsy of a young man who died a sudden or silly death. For instance, he committed suicide because his girlfriend dumped him, or he scratched his hand and died because of some bacteria. Your goal is to imagine yourself in his place. Also, pay attention to the people around him. They have some kind of silly rituals and believe that this boy will go to heaven. You have to realize the meaninglessness of all these actions. Imagine that you suddenly got yourself into this situation. You will feel how small your current problems in life are, and in fact, you should not even care about them. Also, attend an autopsy. Get there through connections of medical students. Look at the dead bodies with tags on them. It's helpful to see that humans are just a very primitive and biological creature when a body is being cut up, weighed in, and when all the internal organs are being removed. After that, you will be able to understand scientists and why they don't believe in God, in luck, and all those other superstitions. All those people who talk about life after are people with childish views about life, who have never been in extreme circumstances such as war, hunger, or a near-death experience. If you don't want to be like 95% of average people, you must do this quest and experience death through another person in order to be able to see life the way it is. Burn your bridges. Stop talking with all your friends. Don't answer your phone. Delete all your social network profiles or create a new fake one if you need to communicate through social networking while building your business. What really irritates me about these friends is their stupidity, laziness, and not wanting to do something new and change their life. They always complain about their life, their dreams, and their inability to take actions towards their goals. They talk and talk, but don't do anything. If you try to offer some business ideas, all their attempts will end up on the level of discussion. Don't get me wrong, some people may love this same lifestyle and enjoy being around their friends. However, some people at some point start to be annoyed by this useless socializing. They want something new, something big, but they continue to move in inertia with their friends. If you get to this point where you feel stopped, you need to choose whether to take a step into the unknown or stay living your same life. If you decide to take this step, you must risk losing your comfortable, stable life, your social environment, and start testing out something new. For your friends, this boring environment is normal life, but you don't want to settle for it anymore. You need to rise up and pull yourself away from your friends. These friends don't really pull you down, but they create an environment that slows you down. Same as your annoying relatives who always dig into your brain and life. You can tell them to leave you alone and solve this problem. All these friends and relatives disrupt you from your own thoughts and big business ideas. It's hard for you to concentrate on your own goals and thoughts. Just like a fussing wife who runs around the apartment and makes it impossible for you to focus. So you need to make a choice. If you decided to perform this task, don't act like you are higher and mightier than them and that you don't want to talk to anyone. All you need to do is have a couple dry conversations with your friends and they will stop calling you. Don't try to explain that they need to change their life. Trying to change them is useless, and logically they might ask you, if you are so smart, then why are you on the same level as we are? Your goal is to change yourself by removing all the obstacles. If you try to change someone, it's running away from your own self-improvement. But don't mix this up with finding connections. Connections are very important, and I will make a separate video on how to find good connections. The key in searching for connections is that you have to be able to do something that other people will find interesting, something that only you can do. For a small example, let's say you learn how to be an electrician, or you have a small business like a gas station. That way other businessmen will want to be friends with you because you might help them out at some point. But if you are nothing, can't do anything, a student who lives off a couple $100s a month, forget about any good connections with important people and businessmen. Stop dreaming. You need to stop dreaming about your materialistic goals. Our instincts force us to dream about cars, a new iPhone, a girlfriend, traveling, apartments, and other materialistic things. As a result of this, most people don't take any actions toward achieving their goals and instead live with their dreams all their lives. If you really want it, you have to dream only in one direction. If you want to have a lot of money, you must dream, read, learn about business, and read autobiographies of people like Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, etc. Also, very often, people have contradictory dreams. For instance, in one dream they want to become an amazing, cynical businessman, while at the same time dreaming about hungry kids in Africa and how to help them and help the whole world. Obviously, these are two contradictory dreams. So stop surfing cars and travel websites on the internet. You must completely get rid of any dreams and think about your personal life. You have to forget stupid adventures. If any business ideas come into your mind, don't think much about it, act on it. Make some steps towards accomplishing it. After you start this lifestyle, you will stop dreaming about anything at all, but working 24/7 will become your habit. It will also be very productive for you in your life. So, 5 things that you must change in your thoughts are: 1. Stop looking at the future optimistically. 2. Stop thinking that everything is going to be fine. 3. Stop looking for businesses that will make you a millionaire immediately. 4. Stop thinking that you are special and not like everyone else. And 5. Stop thinking that some person will appear that will show you how it's done, or who will be interested in working with you towards your same life goals. Next, stop falling in love with women. The real problem for young guys towards achieving their goals is their constant search for love and constant thinking about women. From a very young age, a genetic breeding instinct presses them very hard, and they are destroying their lives because they constantly lose their focus being distracted by women and emotions. In addition, a lot of them don't understand how relationships with women should be built. They get experience with women, and by experience, I mean that they make mistakes, and these mistakes exhaust their mental power. They start spending a lot of time in figuring out how to deal, attract, and handle women. You have to understand something very important. This type of behavior contradicts a man's real nature. All these skills women must become skilled at because women can't really do anything due to their lack of physical and emotional power. Your main goal in life must be your self-improvement, preferably self-improvement in business. If you establish a successful business, you will eventually close all your problems. Through money, you will become confident with a wide horizon way of thinking. As a result, when you become confident, rich, successful, cynical, etc., tons of women will be attracted to you, and you will become the one who chooses instead of being chosen by the woman. When women start being attracted to you, in a few months you will be able to understand them and manipulate them like the most professional seducer in the world, and you will be able to choose the best girlfriend for yourself. I know 40-year-old men who are still looking for love, for an ideal smart woman. They work at regular boring jobs and are in a constant state of depression. Ideally, if you have not created your own business, one that generates you more money than what your parents or friends are making, you should forget about relationships. Women will make your status work. If you don't do that, you will continue looking for universal love, which, by the way, doesn't exist. I'll make a separate video on this topic. This emptiness that you have in your mind can be closed only when you start achieving your goals and getting your results. This is the best drug in the world and the best feeling that a man can experience. Your business will remove the rose-colored glasses from your head, because when you are building a new business, you always need to fight your own laziness, learn new information, and become professional in your skills. You will be able to see your weak points that you need to work on, and you will always be intrigued and excited about improving yourself. You will become a cynical, productive person who sees life the way it is, without daydreaming, and you will become an emotionally very strong person. All women dream about is finding a strong, rich man, learn how to handle conversation with him, and how to get pregnant from him in order to stay with him for the rest of her life. However, I don't recommend you to get rid of women completely. You should be able to get laid at least once a week. Find yourself a girl you don't have any emotions with, temporarily. I will make a separate video about love, women, and relationships in the near future. Thank you for watching.